Travis Wayne Goodsell. Update for you on the last days of my life as I'm being threatened with eviction from my place. Why? Well, the source reason may never be known if they don't confess. I've got my understanding on the matter, but yeah. So in the state of Utah, I'm pretty sure it's the same everywhere in the United States, businesses are required to be licensed, because as consumers or customers or other clientele or employees, etc., other companies that do business partnerships or whatever. Oh, I didn't even think to check that one too. People are required to be properly licensed in the state in which they reside. And in Utah, you have to even have city licenses in order to operate your business within different cities in Utah. So if you operate several businesses or your business travels to different cities, you need to be licensed in whichever city you go to. So like when 2016, there were a whole bunch of solar panel marketers, whatever you call them. Can't remember what you call them anymore. We don't typically have them, so it was strange that we'd have door-to-door salesmen knocking on everybody's door in the neighborhood while I was the neighborhood watch president that year. And people were like, what are you doing knocking on my door trying to sell me something? I don't know you. And we had to immediately contact the company, have them contact the company to make sure that they were properly licensed, not just in the state of Utah, but in West Valley City, to go knocking on people's doors to do business here in West Valley City. And once they were cleared and all the licensing were confirmed, then yeah, there's nothing we could do. They are free to knock on people's doors and ask if anybody wants to buy their solar panels. And a couple people did, and it was not a good quality work. Solar panels were not working as they were supposed to. The cost was too high, and the received benefits from solar panels were not achieved, as low wattages and poor quality systems were given as products. So my parents had solar panels in Southern California back when I was a kid, so I know all about it. My parents were getting paid by the electric company because of the solar panels. That was, of course, before we had all the computer technology with the internet and all that stuff. So it was a lot easier to get money back in those days for solar panels. Let's see, Utah Better Business Bureau. The Utah Better Business Bureau is for the state of Utah, and you can find out who's licensed in the state of Utah. It's a quick check. You just type in the business. It says business, charity, or category, and then you put, you can either put just Utah, and then it'll put Utida. Yeah, Utida. However you pronounce that. It's probably Behemoth, the way things work in Utah. You know, you have Tooele, which everybody, including me, says Tule. And so, yeah. Oh, sure enough, there they are. Okay. But they are not accredited, and they are not rated, so they suck. Okay, so we'll make a screenshot of that. Alrighty. But yeah, that's as simple as it is. The property manager is Danville Development Corp. I typed in Danville Development, and it showed Corp and gave the address for them. I go, oh, okay, yeah, that's them. and it shows that they're in Midvale rather than this Utida. Let me get rid of Utida and then do see if there's anything else. General, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So yeah, we're good. But yeah, the other landlord, however, is not good. And I'm not going to disclose too much information other than to tell you they're not looking good. And so, yes, I found the other company that they go by, but not the licensed company. Not good. You need to be licensed in the state of Utah and in West Valley City, where I'm at with their corporation. And they can't just cover it up. They can't just go last minute today, if they watch this video as their spies are watching, and contacts them and says, "Holy crap, Travis caught us. We need to make the change immediately." It can't be done because the state of Utah's licensing bureau, they have processes and procedures and dating of when it's begun. You can't go back in time to say, "Oh, we want to be covered back when we weren't covered." And so, yeah, the lawyer has not responded. Last I checked. We'll check here again. Naughty, naughty, down and dirty. Different definitions of naughty, isn't there? I had a guy comment, nope, no lawyer reply. Uh-oh, I caught him. So, yeah, he was trying to tell me he's following the law and will use the full force on Monday of the law. And so I replied, according to the laws of Utah, you are required to have a court hearing, as I am, and I gave my labels in accordance with the laws. So yeah, I have not heard back, because I asked him, what are your illegal intentions to do with me, since you've made it clear you're not following the laws of Utah? And so, yeah, and if they think that they can make the change today and be safe from the Fair Housing Office, no. Like I said, you can't go back in time to say, oh, we're covered all that time, so yeah, we're safe now, right? No. It's from when you file. That's the dating. When you are approved after filing. And that is Ohio. So no. Slide up to decline, rather than wait for it to keep ringing. So yeah, the fair housing authorities, they've already begun their investigation, and if I was able to do it just that quickly with an online search with the Utah Better Business Bureau, they can do it just as easily and have better access to the actual licensing files with the state of Utah, rather than going through the Better Business Bureau to find out. And so, yeah, it's a simple matter to do. as they will not be able to have anywhere to flee. You have to have a license in order to practice, otherwise it's fraud and other crimes and misdemeanors, although I don't know if they're misdemeanors, because they're aggravated charges. because of the type of business they're professing to be, and a position of trust. And so, yeah. Oh, it's great to live in the day of the internet, because back in 2008, it was a struggle to find out information. So, alrighty. I'll be just fine. If, well, again, I beat the church. I beat the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in my federal civil lawsuit. I beat them. I didn't expect to beat them that easily. The lawyers filed late. In default is the legal terminology. They filed in default. And the judges just ignored it and instead came after me. Both Oberg and Judge Waddups. Both. And even the property manager after that was interesting. But as if they're not connected when they were connected, because they were listed on that church filing as a RICO conspiracy. And but they all talk about you must reply by the date, after I filed informing them the defense counsel filed late. They're in a position of licensed in the state of Utah. They have passed the bar. They have been educated. And they messed up this badly without any explanation as to why they messed up and filed late? You know, if they had good cause, well, we were sort of held up. We were held hostage for a month, 24 days late. And so, sorry, we just got free. Yeah, I would understand, and I would say, okay, fine. You know, I was even nice enough in saying, okay, you don't have until the one particular date because it's on Saturday, when I found out later that no, they have to file by Saturday. I can make it by Saturday. But I was nice and said, no, you can have the whole day on Monday until midnight when it turns Tuesday. And they didn't even bother to follow that. That is, you know, an automatic win. That's what a default filing is. It's an automatic win. And I won according to the law. They filed late. And then the other judges decided to warn me. Oh, if you don't file, that means you're admitting guilt, Travis. That's what And so, yeah, if I have that kind of thinking processes with the judge that they're going to go to violate my rights to have a hearing before that judge, and if they have the police officers coming to serve the eviction of me by the judge who didn't give me a hearing, then yeah, I can show this in their faces. I can show my other evidence that I've got, and they'll just say, yeah. They'll pull out their guns and they'll shoot me 7 times. Because that's how they do it here in Utah too. Remember, Utah also supports Confederates. Utah also supports racism. Utah also supported Hitler. Mormonism and the swastika. I don't remember the name of the author. I think it got packed. Let me get the author for you. You can get it on Amazon. Mormonism and what are you doing? Mormonism and white supremacy. And white supremacy? Oh, I need to check out this book. We're taking a slight detour, guys. Mormonism and White Supremacy, American Religion and the Problem of Racial Intolerance. Oh. Joanna Brooks. It just came out this year, June 1st. Wow, and they got a picture of the church office building. Wow. $35. And it would get here Sunday. But my goodness. I might be able to. I'm going to do it because, yeah, I'm going to get the book. So it'll come this weekend. Huh. Wow. Okay, to this day, church-going, you need to put a space there, dear, I think, or a hyphen at least. Church-going Mormons report that they hear from their fellow congregants in Sunday meetings that African Americans are the accursed descendants of Cain, whose spirits, through their lack of spiritual metal in a premortal existence, were destined to come to earth with a curse of black skin. This claim can be made in many Mormon Sunday schools without fear of contradiction, as long as they're all white and not the Genesis group that are segregated from other wards in downtown Salt Lake. Wow. You are more likely to encounter opposition if you argue that the ban on the ordination of black Mormons was a product of not human racism, evil Brigham Young racism. Like most difficult subjects in Mormon history and practice, says Joanna Brooks, it's you, dear. Just say you. Just keep on going. Don't interrupt with that. It just totally took me out of the mood here. So we'll read more. The priesthood and temple ban on blacks has been managed carefully in LDS institutional settings with a combination of avoidance, denial, selective truth-telling. It's called faith promoting, Joanna. And determined silence. I need to get this book, I think. As America begins to come to terms with the costs of white privilege to black lives, this book urges a soul-searching examination of the role American Christianity has played in sustaining everyday white supremacy by assuring white people of their innocence. Okay, that didn't convince me. Now, if you're going to use documentation, quotes, I might be more inclined. Let's see. In Mormonism and White Supremacy, Joanna Brooks offers an unflinching look at her own people's history and culture, and finds in them lessons that will hit home for every scholar of American religion and person of faith. That may convince me. But the question is, does she get the history right? Because Mormons have misunderstood the Book of Mormon because Brigham Young's a racist. So yes, he's going to look at the Book of Mormon with a racist viewpoint, and that's where our current racism in the church comes from, with him and his Danites. But like I've been trying to tell you with my Book of Mormon coding playlist, the Book of Mormon was coded. And so it's speaking to white supremacists, but Joseph was trying to teach something else. That it was the Nephites who were the white supremacists who were the bad guys in the story. And then everybody messes up on Abraham. When it says the blood of the Canaanites, they don't understand that it refers to brother and sister marriage, not black Egyptus stuff. Again, that's the white supremacist Mormonism viewpoint. They impose black. They impose wickedness in the premortal existence. No, it was incest. That's the blood of the Canaanites. Incest. All pharaohs, prophets, all pharaohs of Egypt have to be married to their sister. preferably of the first wife of Pharaoh, as the Pharaoh who succeeds the father needs to be ideally from the first wife as well. And so we're not talking stepsister, we're talking sister of the same wife, of the same father, even though they also threw in, because of Hatshepsut, that the god Amun comes to the queen and has sex with her. And that's where the Mormon view of Jesus being born of Heavenly Father having sex with Mary. People don't understand the Egyptian background in that. But even the Egyptians didn't actually believe that God came down and had sex with the queen. That was just what they tell in the stories as a symbolic instruction. But yeah, if you want to be white supremacist, you tell it in a white supremacist perspective. If you want to be sexist, you can tell it from a sexist perspective, etc. And so, yeah. But, oh, yeah. Mormonism and the swastika. Oh, am I going to buy this? See, she says, I'm not convinced here, dear. You didn't word it correctly to catch my attention. If you said going through the historical records and the talks by the general authorities, you would have instantly got me. But an unflinching look at people's history and culture, see, swastika? No, I saw his YouTube video. I wanted to get his book from having watched his YouTube video. So I already knew what the book was about, having watched his videos. He gives 2 different video presentations that were on YouTube. And, you can't get this right away in the hardback version. They don't, it's by Prime. It says only 10 left in stock. September 2nd, Wednesday, is when it gets delivered. So, yeah. Not too far away. Let's see the paperback version for you. It's ships in 1 to 2 days, and so Saturday, September 5th is when it'll arrive for Prime members. So I got mine just in time then, it looks like. They do have e-textbook versions for $14. Don't they have Kindle? Do they no longer have Kindle? E-textbook. Seriously? You don't see all supported devices. They do have it for Kindle, but it's for others as well. Why don't you just say Kindle? So, yeah, it has all different kinds. Apple and generation. All Kindle Paperwhite 5th generation. I don't bother with this. I get a PDF version if I can get one. If I can't get I get a PDF version first, and if I can't get that, I get the printed, because then I can then scan the book and get a PDF version. So yeah, Mac, PC, iPad, iPad Touch, iPhone, Android phones, tablets, Blackberries, Windows Phone, etc. Yeah. So yeah, and either way, or you can go to Mormonism and the Swastika. Swastika. This guy goes over the documents. He goes over the actions taken by the church towards members in Germany who tried to liberate the Jews, and the punishments that the church imposed on those Mormons. It's a horror story. And so, yes, the Mormon church is not the true church of God, unless the God you're referring to is Lucifer. And then you would be correct. So, there you go. That went a lot longer than I wanted. So yeah, nobody is calling. It's 3:30. So yeah, the lawyer hasn't responded either. Oh my God, the corruption. Can't we all just get along?